Hi, Jeff. How are you over there?
Hi, Jen.
Welcome.
I'm very well, and I'm happy to be here with you and to exchange a few things about all that is happening here. And welcome to France, to the garden.
Thank you. So that we can let our viewers know exactly where we are. We are in Metz, which is in the northeastern France, and Jean-François Roland, better known as Jeff Roland, is a Casco Bay artisan and makes the most enchanting art that I've almost ever seen. We adore it. Um, Before we start to talk a little bit about your work, I'm sure our viewers are going to be very interested to know how you guys are all faring over there with COVID-19, with your lockdown, and how this is affecting your creative process. Has it been difficult? Is it better because you have more time? And I know you travel an awful lot when you are exhibiting all over Europe. So is it giving you more time to paint? I know you have two lovely daughters. Is it giving you more time to be with them, I imagine? And I know that you share your creative, artistic nature with your children as well. So while they're being homeschooled, they're lucky enough to have you as their art teacher. So with that, I'm going to let you kind of, explain to us what's happening to you and your family and our wonderful neighbors across the pond in France.
Yes, thank you. Well, if I can explain the situation here, I started. We've been on a lockdown since roughly half March, and like. Well, it's been a surprise for everybody, and we got to realize that our freedom of movement was so important, and we didn't really understand this until it was gone. Um, I I was how can I say, here that's one of the places in France where the pandemic has started to hit a lot. A lot of people, one of the regions the most hit in France. So everybody's been feeling a bit anxious and um, and not really in a good frame of mind. But as it happens, as far as I'm concerned, I've been lucky enough to find a place where I could stay put and, as you say, get some time to paint and to focus on the things that are important. So continue the time of confinement in a good way. As artists, it's something that, after all, we are more used to focus and do something alone, and so maybe this toll hasn't been so bad, but the overall um, uh, feeling in the region is of some there is some sadness, and most of all there is a blur about the future. So but as artists, we do get more time to to paint, and I'm trying to remain in the same frame of mind. And if I can bring some joy and some magic in people's lives, I will do this, because I believe that if you are an artist, it is your role to bring some joy in people's life, and that if you don't do that, uh, really, you should change your job, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's almost as important, um, to some of us. It's our lifeline. I can't say it's as important as the work that our medical people are doing out there, literally saving lives. But it is important. What you're saying is true. To continue to put out art and beauty is sort of the response. Our what we call it is civic duty here. It's our responsibility, in a sense, as artists, to push forward and to push through as much as we can this sort of unknown barrier that we're all confronting here, and try to bring art and beauty into people's lives because we were given that sort of God-given talent. So yes, I completely hear what you're saying. Thank you. And I think everyone's going to be very interested to hear this. And much of what you're saying is how we're feeling here. I don't think there's much of a difference. We're all feeling worried about the future, but trying to make the best of the present, especially when we have children who need us to guide them through. So do tell us about your lovely, magical, wonderful, whimsical art, and tell us what inspires you to make these pieces that are just so imaginative.
To convey in my art is the beauty of life and how we should always be focused on how this can always be found, whatever the situation, and help people in difficult situations. It, it's important. At this time of the year, we are living a paradox because as much as the situation is tense, we are also seeing that it is springtime and everything all around us is beautiful. I have my inspiration mostly in nature and in my life. My life, my work is pretty much autobiographical. If you look at it closely, and for people who know me, they can find hints in it. And I also am very focused on bringing help to people who want to find hope, who want to find something that can give them um, an exit way in these times. Um, I I look in my mind and I try to intuitively find the colors and the imaginary creatures lands from the unconscious that can bring something. Like so, this is how I work. I have my studio here. I have a few things, and this is something I've been doing right here. You can see.
Oh, yes. Tell us all about this, would you? It's lovely.
Well, this one was about how the invisible forces that we all feel we have, all this courage that has made us resilient over the years. Because when we look at it, um, all of us living humans at the moment are survivors of uh, hundreds of wars, epidemics, struggles, and we have all survived. We must know that we will survive and we will get through this. And every time this sort of thing has happened, we have found a way to make actually humanity much better. So this is about hope. I am doing another one right now, which is trying to show us that there is light with the sun. There is another one. It is not finished,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm trying to make that king that governs our our willpower to not give up, show us the way inside. There is another one I did, which was also a bit more about the gratitude and what we must use this time for, which is about forgiveness. Is this one? That is here.
Oh, I love the flowers. Wonderful.
This one is also about something that we can do in a time of struggle like this, is to look closely at the relationships we have and the friends we have and the family and our daughters and brothers and and all our children, and look at how sometimes we get to some form of conflict, but what we need to do is to stick together and to build on our sense of community. This is very important. And of course, what you said earlier is also very important. We must every day, if we can, express our gratitude to all the medical teams that are working all over the world now at the moment, and know that they have all our support and that they can count on us to feel grateful.
Yes, I mean, we'll do our part to try to put beauty out there, and they're certainly doing their part, and more to save lives. It's quite remarkable. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a doctor, and she didn't appear to find it that remarkable. To her, it was normal. And what's happening and how people are going in and, essentially risking their lives every day to save other lives. And I said to her immediately, what came to mind was, wow, it's a real calling to go into that field. And I had never really thought about it in that way. But it really is for them to do this every day. It's definitely a calling. And I know how passionate you are about your calling, and that's bringing the joy through your images to all of us. And I can't tell you how much joy it gives me to look at your work every day and to have that opportunity. And then to know that you're right so close because of technology, you always bring a smile to us, right, Jess? Always. So with that, I see your girls in the background. Hugs to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. And we will speak very soon again, and the doors of Casco Bay Artisans will be open just as soon as time permits.
Of course, and I'm very grateful for you to reach out to me and to give me the occasion to speak to the American public about the situation in France, but all over the world, and to share my passion that is still intact with this. And I repeat, reach out if you have friends you haven't seen for a long time. Call them, write to them. Don't forget, this is important. It's the human link that is going to make us strong, and we will all know what sort of future we want very shortly.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.